There's no plan that you think will always work. Sooner or later, somebody will catch you out. And I also like all the trolls.
To all the moans and all the groans, we still love our sport. We love MMA.
For all the gripes and all the all the things that we can, you know, we can laugh about and have a laugh about, you know, MMA, taking my immediate family, my wife, my children, you know, aside for a moment, you know, the deeply personal things, MMA has gave me some of the greatest moments in my life.
Do you know what, for me now, I've just been involved with it for so long that I don't actually know what I love, but I still love it. The unpredictability of it, I think, is incredible.
It amazed me, like how somebody could manipulate someone's body to, you know, make them tap out or do serious damage and stuff like that. And it just, submissions in particular, held like an allure to me.
Genuinely, I love the sport as a sport, but I love the sport in this country because of the people that are involved in this sport.
For me, I think like everything I love about MMA on the domestic scene reminds me of everything that I loved about kind of being in bands, really, of just rolling into like towns that you maybe never been to before, but still seeing kind of similar people and kind of those butterflies you get before like you start working kind of a show, and it's the networking side of it. It's how much it kind of, the whole thing grows. So you'll work a couple of shows in a certain area and then you'll meet a few guys from the gyms and they'll be like, oh, I'm putting a show on, and you'll get to know kind of certain people, and then it's the fact of how it develops. And like I say, it's just, there's something really comforting about like I mean, I've seen it loads like this year with working for Cage Warriors. I can't tell you how comforting it is to walk into a hotel in like the middle of like the Middle East and see like 20 people that you know, do you know what I mean? And they're like are really nice people, and they'll sit with you and have a cup of tea with you and shit. It's like, that's like the best part of it, do you know what I mean? Kind of the people, and the bottom line is as well, everybody looks at the UFC and these kind of big shows, but some of the best fights I've ever been kind of privileged to see and call and work have happened kind of on the smaller kind of shows, have happened domestically. I mean, Fight UK 5 main event with Sheridan and Truman, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, absolutely crazy, and I mean, I just kind of, I don't ever want it to stop.
Because I'm probably no good at anything else. Or I'm a glutton for punishment, or I decided to do a degree in politics with international relations and then just pick the most wildly different thing because that's how I am. I don't know.
I've met some of the greatest people, some wonderful people. I've got to travel the world. I've had some unforgettable experiences and been granted these by you know, many kind people, and you know, simply put, it's gave me so much in my life.
Do you know what I mean? There's nothing I'd rather do on a Saturday than like drive down the motorway to somewhere random with some friends and kind of watch some strangers beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't imagine your life without it at this point, isn't it? I mean, I remember Cage Rage 2 was my first show. Back then it was Jeremy Bailey, who was like my kickboxing coach at the time. And when he fought, it was like just the show around it, you know, I love him, I hate him. I was just like, you know, wow, this is amazing. And since, you've just seen so much crazy stuff, it's unbelievable. And these fighters, like you say, I mean, it relates back to pay. These guys are putting their lives and necks on the line for sometimes, you know, 100 quid, 200 quid. And you can't help but respect that and be in awe of it sometimes, because, you know, it's a crazy, crazy sport, but it's the best sport in the world still.
You still have no idea who's going to win a fight. You know, I've seen so many times when people have gone into a cage and you're pretty guaranteed, right, this guy's going to win. But then when the fight goes on, it gets turned on his head. I mean, you see it with a lot of the guys from Antonio's gym. They've got this Lithuanian killer army, you know, that they bring along, and do you know what, most of them, yeah, it goes according to plan and they probably go home as losers, but then all of a sudden you get, you know, certain people who can come along that just deliver the goods at the end of the line. Yeah, Aurelius Kerpe, yeah, unleash the Kerpe.
You know, the camaraderie you can have with the guys at the gym, you know, I spend more time with the guys at the gym than I do with my girlfriend or with my family or anything, and you know, these guys become like your family and become your best friends, and you know, it keeps you there, and you know, fighting for me is something I enjoy. It gets me good experiences. It allows me to go places and do things that I wouldn't have normally done.
I've made some great friends just purely through this. You get to see people week in, week out, you know, and it's tremendous. And you get to see, you know, great fighters growing from this country, you know, that are going on and fighting for the UFC or fighting in Japan and doing really, really well for themselves. They really, it's just brilliant, and it's a great sport. It's not what people think it is. It is a sport. I'm passionate about it. I actually love doing what I do, else I wouldn't do it.
If I didn't love it so much, we wouldn't have anything to moan about, you know. It's as simple as that. You know, mixed martial arts has been an absolute huge part of my life for so long, you know, coming through from, and the joys and the highs and lows of training and competing myself, the highs and lows of training and helping others, and then obviously, you know, in the last 6, 7 years, obviously moving on into the officiating side and gaining international notoriety and the opportunities that's presented with me, you know, and like I said, some of the friendships and stuff that it's been a huge learning experience as well, because it's made me learn a lot about myself. You know, I've had to sit down and question myself on a lot of occasions, and I don't think that's something that people do readily enough or honestly enough.
Like now, if I didn't have MMA, I mean, I'd probably shooting up on crack tonight and God knows what else, but you know, it's like a cliche, but it has become my life, and you know, right now I genuinely don't know where I'd be if I didn't find a passion for the sport.
And when you get somebody that you refereed their first fight, and then you look at them and they're in the UFC, and they still remember you, and they come up and they shake your hand and they go, "How you doing, Mark?" You know, that makes it all worthwhile, really. It really, really does.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you know, taking my personal family aside, it's gave me some of the happiest moments that I've ever had in my life, genuinely.
I mean, for me, as much as I moan continuously about how much I hate UK MMA, I still do love it. It's, you know, I can't see myself doing anything else. You know, and I still think there's some great people in there, and you know, I don't honestly think would be good at anything else. This is all I've done for so long. I just can't think of anything else, and yeah, I mean, I could go on for days, but for you know, with stories. But for me, yeah, this is what I do. This is me, and that's it.